Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we're going to be doing some Raidraptor test hands. You guys have been requesting this one like crazy because this deck has gotten a complete overhaul from what it used to be, which is really crazy with all the new support cards that actually came out in Phantom Raid. So I'm finally getting around to actually doing some test hands of this deck because I've had a lot of other decks that I wanted to do as well on this channel, but this one finally came up and I was like, you know, I think I've play tested this deck enough. I'm even going to have some live duels of this deck on the channel very soon, and I think it's their time to shine actually on the channel. So I'm really excited to actually do some test hands of this deck because it's a really fun deck that makes me think of like rank 4 Blackwings, which is what's really cool about this deck. And this deck has had as many as 25 cards changed since the previous list of Raidraptors when I was going Ultimate Falcon Turbo, which is what's really weird about this deck. It has so many different ways that you can actually play it, from an Ultimate Falcon Turbo build to this particular build where you're playing a little bit more of the Phantom Knight cards, which is really cool. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can come part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below where you have some awesome rewards, you guys, like getting your name in the description of every single video, getting a signed card sent in the mail, or even getting to request a deck profile every single month through a patron along with test hands. And what's really cool about this deck to me is that they kind of fused the Raidraptor archetype and the Phantom Knight archetype together, where it was kind of like the two best friends, which was Kurosaki and Yugioh, that were kind of best buds in the anime, and they kind of made the deck the same deck. Like, it's really cool that there's actually kind of fused where you have Raider's Wing, Raider's Claw, or the Raidraptor's Phantom Knight's Claw, which is kind of cool. You have Raider's Knight that helps you go into a lot of different Raidraptor cards. It's just an overall really interesting concept to the deck to actually fuse two complete archetypes and make them essentially one, which is kind of neat. So let's go ahead and get into our first test hand and see what we can do. So we're going to go ahead and draw. We're going to have a copy of Ash Blossom, Strangleanius, a copy of Effect Veiler, and a copy of the Shade Brigandine. So this is not terrible at all, because you can still special summon out your copy of your Strangleanius even though if you have two, because it has the ability, if you control a dark monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Also, you can special summon monsters from your extra deck, except for dark monsters. And if you control an XZ monster, well, it has a dark monster as a material. If you control then you can target one level 4 lower rank Raidraptor in your graveyard and special summon it, but effects are negated, and you can only use the effect of this card once per turn, which is still pretty good. I like that effect to be able to just get you an additional monster. So I would go ahead and start by setting down your copy of the Phantom Knights of Shade Brigandine. And then you can immediately activate it because we don't even have anything in the graveyard yet. You don't have any traps, you don't have any monsters, you don't have anything. So this card comes in really handy right off the bat. We're then going to special summon to our side of the field. If you control a dark monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you can use both. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn, but you can use both of them. So we're going to go ahead and do a copy of Strangleanius. So you can either use this card to be able to go directly into a copy of your I would probably go into a 4 Strix right off the bat. Yeah, you got to go into 4 Strix right off the bat. Let's go ahead into that and overlay this and detach the copy of our Strangleanius to then search the deck for a level 4 Raidraptor monster, which is going to be a copy of the Raider's Wing, which always is considered as the Phantom Knight or a Raidraptor card, because that's going to be the one that you can actually special summon from your hand now, because we don't actually play Fuzzy Lanius anymore. You just don't need it. Or you can search your copy of Singing Lanius. It depends on what you want. I might search Singing Lanius because it's a little bit more of a brick in the deck, actually. So let's go ahead and special summon out that copy of Singing Lanius, and then special summon out our copy, or normal summon out our copy of the Strangleanius, because we special summon out the first one, because, or you can do it either way. You can either special summon this one or special summon this one. It depends, because it doesn't matter, because you really didn't activate the first one's effect. So you can special summon this one, normal summon this one, or vice versa. It doesn't really change the play all that much. You can then use the effect of your Strangleanius as second effect to revive your copy of the original Strangleanius, because on the card it says nowhere that you can't revive the same card. So you're going to revive out your copy of Strangleanius back to your side of the field. We're then going to use our copy of our 4 Strix as a link material with our copy of Strangleanius on our side of the field, and immediately go into a copy of our Y Strix. So Y Strix's effect is going to go off, and we're going to special summon from the deck a copy of probably the Raider's Wing, because it's going to let us special summon a Wing Beast from our deck to our side of the field. It can't be used as link material, but you can still overlay with it. And we have plenty of materials on our side of the field. You're going to get up to like 4 negates off of this play, which is what's really cool. So right off the bat, we're going to get this card on our side of the field, overlay it again, and then go into a copy of 4 Strix again. Now detach that copy of Raider's Wing off your side of the field. This is going to activate, and this is going to activate. we're going to go ahead and grab from the deck a copy of each the Rank Up Magic spell of our Rank Up Magic of the Rank Up Magic Phantom Knight's Force, which is going to be helpful. And we're going to grab from the deck a copy of our, let's see, you get a rank 4, level 4 Wing Beast from the deck as well. So I'm probably going to grab, I don't know, maybe a copy of Tribute Lanius as a backup play next turn. That's going to set us up for next turn a little bit. So let's go ahead and grab that from the deck. That's going to help out quite a lot. So now that you grab this, it's going to set to your side of the field. We're not going to use this turn, but you have it as a backup play because you can't go into anything but dark, but that's totally fine. Because we're not going to go into anything but dark anyway. So we're going to go ahead and link these two away on our side of the field, which is our copy of Wise Strix and our copy, well, I probably would leave the Wise Strix. I would link away the copy of the Wise Strix and the Strangle Lanius on my side of the field and go into a copy of Rusty Bardige. Now, the reason I put this here is because this points to it, and if I activate the effect of the monster that's here, this will get you a pop on your side of the field. So when this card is summoned, I would go ahead and send from my deck to the graveyard a copy of, where is it? The copy of Silent Boots. Now, this will let you set to your side of the field a copy of a Fog Blade on your side of the field. Now, you can activate the copy of Silent Boots, which says that if you control a Phantom Knight card, then you can special summon this card in your hand, and you can only special summon this card once per turn this way, and you can banish this card from your graveyard to add the Phantom Knight or Phantom Knight spell or trap from your deck to your hands. We're going to go ahead and banish that from the graveyard, and I'm going to go ahead and add a copy of a Phantom Knight spell or trap, which is going to be my copy of the Raidraptor's Phantom Knight's Claw. So it has Phantom Knights in its name, so you can actually search this card from the deck. And then when a monster effect is activated, you detach the material from a Dark XZ monster, negate the activation if you do destroy that card. And then if this card is detached as a material was a Phantom Knight, Raidraptor, or XZ monster, then you can one Raidraptor XZ monster you control gains attack equal to destroyed monster's original attack. So it's going to gain the attack points of your copy to your Force Strix, which is not going to be super helpful, but you're going to get additional play. So now, as you can see, you have multiple negates on your side of the field. So you have the copy of Fog Blade to get you a negate, you have the Phantom Knight's Claw, and you have the 2 hand traps in your hand, and you have a backup play for next turn with your copy of the Tribute Lanius, and you also have something that you might have forgotten about, which is the copy of the Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic Force, which will let you banish multiple cards from the graveyard. I usually banish 3 out of my graveyard, which is going to be the copy of Force Strix, the copy of the Strangle Lanius, and the Strangle Lanius from the graveyard to be able to get it off my side of the field to be able to go directly into a copy of Arsenal Falcon. Arsenal Falcon is a really neat card because it can help you go into Ultimate Falcon on your side of the field as well, which is going to be pretty helpful on my side of the field because it's going to be able to let me use the ability that you can detach a material from this card to special summon a level 4 monster from my deck, which is really cool to be able to do that. And it also has the ability that it can attack up to the number of materials it has, which is pretty good too at 2,500 attack. It also has a backup effect that if this card is destroyed, then you can special summon a Raidraptor or XZ monster from your extra deck, except another copy of itself. So if this does get destroyed, I can just immediately go into a copy of Ultimate Falcon, which is really cool because this just replaces itself as well. And you also have the copy of Fog Blade, the copy of the Raidraptor's Phantom Knight's Claw, and then you have 2 negates in hand with the 2 hand traps. So at bare minimum, you searched 2 negations from the deck. You had a Rank Up Magic with a card that replaces itself, and this, if it doesn't get destroyed, will special summon something to your side of the field, which is pretty good. So let's go ahead and go into the next test hand and see what we can actually pull off. Because, like I said, this deck is really good. And also you need the copy of the Raider's Wing that you could detach a material off of a card. And we had the copy of Tribute Lanius, which could send a Mimicry from deck to graveyard to get us an additional search as well. So you had up to 3 monsters that you could get out onto your side of the field, because you also had another copy of Strangle in your deck, which is going to be helpful in the deck in the long run because you can special summon it to your side of the field. And since you control a Dark XZ, you also get a Revival. So you essentially would have got 4 more materials on your side of the field to work with next turn just off of those cards, which is really, really good. So let's go ahead and shuffle the deck up again and see what we can get for the next test hand, because that was pretty good actually. We actually got a really good test hand out of the first one. Let's see what we can do in the second one. And you even had 2 hand traps in there. So you really were only working with 3 cards in your hand because 2 of them were just backup cards to deal with your opponent. So let's go ahead and shuffle the deck up again and see what we can pull off. So we're going to go ahead and draw into a copy of Heel Eagle, a copy of Mimicry. You never want to draw into Mimicry. Singing Lanius, a copy of Zaphros, and a copy of our Ash Blossom. So this isn't terrible because you do have some searches in your deck that's going to be helpful. but you're going to do something that you normally don't want to do, and that's normal summon Mimicry. Now, again, this is kind of it's not a brick, but it's not the most optimal hand because you've drawn two of the cards you really don't want to draw, which is Zavros and your Singing, because you can search them, but they still are okay in the hand. Now, you can use your copy of Heal Eagle in your hand that if you control a Raidraptor monster, you can special summon this card in your hand, and then link these two together and go directly into Y-Strix. Y-Strix being the main card that you're going to mainly be summoning in this deck. Now, keep in mind you do have a card in the graveyard that says once per turn during the main phase, or excuse me, where's the good effect about this? You manage this card from the graveyard to add a Raidraptor card from your deck to your hand. During the main phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, because it was sent there this turn. So during the main phase, you can get a search. So we're going to go ahead and use a copy of our Singing Lanius to be able to special summon out our copy of Raider's Wing, because we don't have the Zavros anymore, which is totally fine. It's not going to be that big of a deal. So now that we've gotten that search off, we're going to go ahead and use the copy of Mimicry in our graveyard and banish it on our side of the field to add from our deck to our hand any of our cards that we can actually special summon, which is probably going to be the copy of Strangled because it has the ability to control Dark Monster. You can special summon this card from the hand. So we're going to go ahead and add that probably from deck to hand. If there's any other one, I don't think there's another one besides like Heal Eagle that could actually special summon itself. I probably wouldn't grab Pain because Pain is not going to help out that much. I probably would grab, I'd probably grab the copy of Strangle because it's probably going to be your best bet, because you also have the copy of your Singing in your hand that's going to get you an additional special summon. So we're going to go ahead and special summon this out to our side of the field, and we're going to go ahead and overlay these two into a copy of our Force Strix again, and then detach the copy of our Raiders Wing, and then we're going to go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, get a search, which is going to be another copy of our Tribute Lanius, which is going to give us an additional backup play on our side of the field, which is going to be pretty helpful. And I don't even know why I'm shuffling. I need to get another card out of the deck, which I'm then going to grab a copy of either Soul Shave Force. You can grab Soul Shave Force. You can grab a copy of your new Phantom Knights. I probably would grab the Phantom Knight one because that's probably the best one, or Skip Force. You can even grab Skip Force if you want to go into Air Raid. That one's pretty good too, to go into that one. It kind of depends on what you want to go for in this particular instance. You have some backup plays as well if you want to, but these pretty much go into two completely different ways. I like going for Arsenal Falcon if I'm going first, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this. And then what you're going to do is since you control a rank 4, you're going to special summon this to your side of the field. This is going to get set. You're going to go ahead and special summon out the level 4 onto your side of the field, and then you can use the copy of Raider's Wing that if this card's in your hand or graveyard, you can detach a material of a Dark XZ monster, which we have. And we're going to go ahead and detach that and special summon out our copy of Raider's Wing back to our side of the field. Use both of these on your side of the field and go into a second copy of Force Strix, which is going to get us an additional search, which this will get banished, I believe. And then we're going to get another search out of the deck, which can be a copy of Vanishing Lanius, which is going to get us 2 monsters on the field next turn. Go ahead and shuffle the deck up again. Make sure you get it good and shuffled. And then now you have this on your side of the field. Now you have a pretty good field now, because you can overlay or link these two together on your side of the field and go into a copy of Rusty again. Now see, you're consistently going into Rusty every single turn. You're going to get both of these as searches on your side of the field because you're going to send your copy of your Boots, set this to your side of the field, and then you can also set to your side of the field the copy of Fogblade as well, which if you want to play around the Mech Knight, you're going to want to set them in a little bit different, which you're going to set them like that just to keep them off your side of the field. It's going to be pretty helpful to keep them like that. And then you have some backup plays again. You have both the negates, you have the copy of Fogblade, and you have the rank up that you can banish 3 monsters from your graveyard, which guess what? We have 3 kind of useless ones that we're not going to use anymore. Banish all 3 of those from the graveyard, and then immediately go into a copy of Arsenal Falcon again, which is going to help you out a lot because during the main phase, you can target a dark monster you control, special summon 1 monster from your XXZ, either the Phantom Knight, Raidraptor, or XZ's Dragon monster whose rank is equal to the total monsters plus the number of monsters banished by using this card as material. For the rest, turn out this card resolves. You cannot special summon monsters from the extract except XZ's monsters, which we're going to do it on our opponent's turn, which is not that big of a deal anyway. So the follow-up play after this, you have the copy of Vanishing, which you can normal summon during your opponent's turn. You have the copy of Tribute Lanius, which you can use its effect. And then you can just send from your deck to the graveyard. Oh, we didn't draw for turn. You're drawing a Skip Force. You can just go ahead and use this to be able to send your copy of Mimicry. Mimicry will vanish during the next turn and get you an additional search of like a Strangle, and then Strangle will special summon itself, and since you control a Dark Xyz monster, you can special summon back this one from the graveyard, and then it kind of snowballs from there where you can go in any other card that you want, and you have the 2 negates still that you wanted to put on the field as well, and the arsenal can replace itself all the way into an Ultimate Falcon if it does get destroyed, which your opponent is going to have a really hard time, and then during the end phase, it'll pop something, or not pop something, but it activates effect, and then your copy of Bardige will activate because a monster activated its effect, because it has the ability that this card, while it's on the field, it has the ability that you can, where is the effect on it? If a Dark Xyz monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to while it's on the field, then you can target a card on the field and destroy it. So if they do destroy this and it's summoned here, you get a pop, which is pretty good. And then we also have the ability that if you want to, you can go directly in and overlay these 2 on your side of the field as well, right here, and go into a copy of Dark Rebellion, and then overlay these 2 on your side of the field, and then go into a copy of Evilsworn Nightmare as well. So you have backup plays right there that can get you additional plays on your side of the field. Now, if you had another 4-Strix, you could actually go even further, because you could go ahead and summon to your side of the field the copy of a Y-Strix, and then go into a Revolution Falcon if you want to go that route as well. Now, the really cool thing I will mention you guys too is if the Fog Blade does touch the graveyard, you can banish it and then special summon back your copy of your Rusty from the graveyard, which is pretty good. So let's go ahead and do one last test hand and see what we can actually pull off for the very last test hand of this particular video. So let's see if we can just get a really good basic one this time. We're not going so crazy with our particular hand. We're just going to go ahead and go for the 1-turn play instead of the 3-turn play where you're going into the 3rd turn. So let's go ahead and see what we can do for this last one. We're going to go ahead and shuffle up the deck. This deck is, like I said, it is really, really crazy the amount of like plays that you can just pull off in this deck. It's really good now. It was really good before, but it's really crazy now. So we're going to go ahead and draw into a copy of Vanishing, Tribute Lanius, Zaphros Elite. I think I've drawn this every single turn, or every single like game, and a Raider's Wing. So that's pretty good. Normal summon your Vanishing, special summon out your Tribute, Tribute Effect, send Mimicry to the graveyard, which is going to be helpful to get your copy of Strangle. We're going to get our copy of Strangle from the deck, which is going to be helpful as well because it's going to get you additional effects that during your main phase, this card is sent to the graveyard. You can banish this card to add 1 Raidraptor and redirect your hand to have another copy of itself. So we're going to go ahead and banish a copy of Mimicry from the graveyard, get this. And then I'm going to go ahead and overlay both of these, detach the copy of this off my copy of 4-Strix, and then I'm going to get an additional search of a level 4 from the deck, which I already have the card that I need, which was the Raider's Wing, and is always treated as a Raidraptor as well, so you get a search off of that. But I already have the cards I really need, so I'm going to grab Singing. Singing's just going to be a good extender. Go ahead and special summon out your copy of Singing. Go ahead and special summon out your copy of Strangle. Special summon back your copy of Vanishing. Then you have 3 materials on your side of the field. Now you want to overlay or you want to go into a link play? I go into a link play. Go ahead and link these 2 together. Go for Y-Strix, Y-Strix effect, special summon from deck. Like I'm going speed on this one. Like this one's going to be fast to show you guys how it goes. How quick this deck goes. Once you get into muscle memory of this deck, it's just really, really good. It doesn't matter really what you special summon at this point because you already have the materials on the field. I probably would go Raiders because it's going to help you out in the long run to have another one in the graveyard. You special summon this out to your side of the field, overlay these 2 together, go into a Y-Strix, detach the copy of the Raider's Wing to your side of the field to the graveyard, use its effect on your side of the field to use the copy of your 4-Strix, add a copy of your Vanishing Lanius from deck to hand. Don't forget about this on your side of the field as well. Grab your copy of the Rank Up Magic Force on your side of the field. Now you can only go into dark for the rest of the turn because you use Strangle's effect. Go ahead and link these 2 away. Actually, you can back up a little bit because you can use this effect to detach the material, special summon this to your side of the field, link these 2 away, summon Bardige, and now that you don't have a trap in the graveyard, you have a little bit different of a play that you could go for. Special summon out, or send from the deck to the graveyard, a copy of... Where is it? Oh, did I send my Rank Up Magic to the grave? I don't think I ever grabbed my Rank Up Magic, did I? No, I sent it to the grave by accident. Whoops. That would actually be set. You then would grab from the deck a copy of the Little Booties. Send the Booties to grave. Set to your side of the field a copy of the Shade Brigadine, if you want to set that to your side of the field. Banish this from the graveyard. And then go in for a copy of Fogblade, which is going to help you out a little bit too. Where is it? Set the Fogblade to your side of the field. So you got that on the field, and then you also have the Shade on your side of the field this time, so we're going to activate the Shade, overlay both of these on your side of the field, go into Evilsworn Nightmare. Now you have multiple disruptions against your opponent because you have the copy of Fogblade, you have the rank up magic, we can go into Arsenal Falcon again, and you have the Effect Veiler in hand as well. And you have a Book of Moon on your side of the field that's really cool too, so you can rank this up by banishing 3 Raidraptors from the graveyard, go directly into Arsenal Falcon again if you want to go into Arsenal Falcon, which I would always go into Arsenal Falcon. Summon that to your side of the field, and you have the multiple negates on your side of the field, which is the copy of Fogblade, your copy of Effect Veiler, and your copy of Nightmare, which is going to get you multiple you're going to get a set on this card. You're going to get this as negate and this as negate, and then you also have the copy of the Arsenal Falcon that when this was summoned to a zone that the Bardiche put points to, you get a pop on your side of the field, and if your opponent gets rid of this, you get to special summon it back to your side of the field and summon out a copy of Ultimate Falcon. So you have an unbeatable monster on your side of the field again. So you essentially just kind of gave it to your opponent. I mean, to be honest with you guys, you really did. And then you have the copy of next turn going into the Vanishing Special Summon, and then you draw into a Soul Shave. Oh god, you drew into Soul Shave. Use Soul Shave's effect and grab back this and pay half your life points and go into Infinity and Beyond. And then you can overlay these if you want to. Actually, I don't even think I can. No, I can go to Rebellion. I can go to Rebellion still. And then you get this field on the next turn, and you still, I mean, this is crazy. I mean, you have literally 4 Xyz monsters on the field and a Bardiche and 2 negates. I mean, how much better can this get with this deck? I mean, 3 negates actually with Infinity, and then a big beat stick and a big beat stick that's unkillable, and then this with Book of Moon. I mean, you can't get much better than that. I mean, that's probably about as good as this deck can actually perform, and it's ever performed, which is really crazy. So that's pretty much it for this test hand, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely tell what you think of this one down in the comments down below, because it's pretty bonkers. I mean, this deck has really gone into an overhaul and is really crazy what it's actually capable of doing now with all the new cards like Raider's Wing and your new like rank up magic spells and the Phantom Knight cards and Bardiche being limited. I mean, is really good. Like, it's really good. So anyways, guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell on there so you can come to our notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below because we have all those awesome rewards, guys. And we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.